The Elsie and Ned Show.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Elsie and Ned Show. My name is Ben Flanders with Learn, Create, Build Academy, and joining me, as always, is our heroic co-host, Adam Laring. Adam, how's it going this week, bud?
I am doing great, Ben. I'm excited today. The weather is turned here up in the South Dakotas, so we're excited for that. We're outside. We don't get to stay inside all the time up here, so we're excited when we get the opportunities to venture out.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great to hear. It's hot where I am, but that's okay. That's better than cold, some would say. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well, everyone, we're super happy to have you guys back here. If you have been following along with our new show and the series, every single Friday we'll be posting a different 15, 20-minute video just discussing different topics that we think are helpful for parents / cool for, discussion. And this week is something that I'm particularly excited to talk about. We're going to be talking about a little platform. It's not really a little platform anymore, but called Twitch. Twitch, and then a little bit about YouTube gaming and what the differences are and why they are important to you and most likely your children. So,
right. No, we're going to get in the weeds there. Definitely talk about all those cool things. I do have a request, though, from all the people that are listening. Hopefully there's more than out there, right? They keep growing. We're not going to charge money for this, right? We're going to continue to give this for free because we're just providing value. But one thing I want to ask is if you find any value, like even like a second nugget value, like small thing, just give it a like or a share, or just say, hey, somebody else should check this out. Because remember, if you're having the same issues with your kids or questions about your kids gaming or what they're doing in their bedroom when they're playing these video games, just some other parent probably has that same question. So just share with them. Say, hey, check out these two dudes from Learn, Create, Build. They got some value. We'd really appreciate that. And that just helps us spread the word of what we're trying to do. And again, that's just make sure that you're better prepared as a parent, because parenting's hard. As a parent of a 7-month-old, it's tough, and he doesn't do anything. So I can only imagine. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I think what we'll probably do is we'll probably just have Adam ask some questions for this episode. I know a lot about these topics, so I'm more than happy to answer anything to kind of help. But I know Adam's got a better perspective on what you most likely have as a parent or someone who may not know what Twitch or YouTube is. So,
yeah. Well, I think in general, Ben, I think the best place to start is the boring stuff. But it's like, what is Twitch / what is YouTube gaming? Like, and let's try to stay out of the weeds here, right? Let's just give the parents like a high overview of just like, what is this platform?
Sure, absolutely. Okay, so we'll start with Twitch. Twitch is an online platform where users can go onto the website and they can do one of two things. Majority of what Twitch is a community of people who go to Twitch to watch what's called live streaming. And what a live stream is pretty simple. It is what someone is doing, and they are taking it and they are posting it to Twitch, and it's being streamed to you live. So, for example, it's completely, usually, like its origins and what it mostly is focused on today is gaming. So, for example, if someone was playing Mario Kart, we'll just say, they could take their gameplay and their, usually a camera of themselves and a microphone and all this other stuff, and they can stream it live to the website where then other people can tune in and join into that and watch that stream as it's happening. So, as a generic answer, Twitch is an online platform for live streaming.
So, again, I'm going to preface this by saying, don't be mad at me, moms. But I'm saying, like, we could think of it, right, as it's a show put on like you would watch on HGTV, right? Like Fixer Upper. But instead of it being produced, it's live, right? It's just actually happening as they're doing it and they're interacting with their fan bases. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Very similar to like a live talk show, almost even. And it's, the bigger ones are even on a schedule, just like normal TV. So you know when to tune in, and it's definitely a very similar culture. So
awesome. And again, so as we kind of talk about this and stuff, we definitely welcome it as well. It's just twitch.com, correct?
Twitch.tv.
Twitch.tv, oh, even better, because that makes sense. It's for TV, so definitely you can check it out there. It's free to watch. That's correct. You can consume for no charge. Is that right?
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So you don't need an account to actually view a stream. There's a couple things that we might bring up later about why an account's beneficial, but to just watch, the several thousand users that are playing all sorts of different games, you just go to the website and then select the stream that you want to watch. So
right. Okay, so we throw around the word Twitch a lot, and we also are going to throw around a word called YouTube gaming that is in that same vein. Can you just give them a kind of a rough idea as I understand it, they're the same thing. It's just kind of Coke and Pepsi. Is that fair to say, or is there any major differences between the two platforms?
I would say that's absolutely fair to say, except for the way that the different brands go about compensating their live streamers, basically. So as like a future standpoint of like, you know, making it a career or what's the incentive for the streamer, the platforms have different differences there. But yes, very similar, works very, you know, the same. You go online, you find a stream that you want to watch, and then you can participate in it. So
okay, so now I got to put the parent hat on, Ben.
Yep.
So I got a question. I got a couple, again, as a parent, right? My kid would come to me and say, hey, I'm going to watch a video on Twitch, or I might walk in and see them watching something. So what are a couple things that parents should be aware of? Because as far as I understand, it's not regulated in the sense that a streamer could use profanity. And I mean, I'm assuming Twitch is regulating as far as nudity and things of that nature. But as far as the words being used or the content that is being viewed, that's not regulated. So how do, as a parent, what are some things I should be looking out for?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is definitely a difficult question. So for Twitch, they do have a general guidelines and rules against things like you mentioned before, like nudity or drugs, and depending on like the subject matter, they will not allow certain things. And that's in an attempt to accommodate for their younger audience that they know they have. If you didn't know, Amazon now owns Twitch, so they're the ones that are heading everything that is Twitch related. And they treat it very seriously, and they upkeep with their guidelines. Now, that being said, a lot of people, from a streamer standpoint, prefer Twitch to YouTube because the guidelines are less strict, and it gives them more freedom to be themselves and stream what they want to, sort of deal. But very often, people will get, 24-hour bans or banned from Twitch for doing things that go against those guidelines. So now, from a parent standpoint, it's super difficult, I feel like, to know exactly what it is that your child is watching, unless you're watching it too for short periods of time, or doing research and maybe like seeing like what people say about this streamer, because it's all based off of what who that streamer is, what they play, and it's live. So it's not like you can just like go back and say like they have like a script or anything. Like it's all live that you have to watch. So a couple of different things to keep in mind if you are trying to moderate like what is being watched is that the stream itself is important to get to know and say, okay, a lot of streamers will post rules down below their channel so that you can see like, oh, this channel says no swearing, so that's probably a good start, or this channel has no tolerance for like bullying in the chat and stuff like that, which is also a good start. So the stream itself is really important to look into and see like, okay, what kind of games do they play? Right. Does this person use bad language when they're doing their commentary? All that stuff. But another aspect to consider is the chat feature, which is a huge reason that a lot of people are so engrossed with live streaming and with Twitch, is that you actually, as a user, have the ability to communicate with the person streaming through their chat feature, which is very similar to anything else, like leaving a comment on a YouTube video, only as being seen live, so you can communicate with them. And the reason that this is a little scary is because a lot of big streamers have rules about what can and can't be said in the chat. But sometimes stuff falls through the cracks, or there's so many people that it's hard to moderate that. And so you're, again, dealing with, very similar to what we talked about last week, people on the internet who can kind of just say and do whatever they want without, repercussion. So. Right.
Yeah. So I guess it's probably similar to movies that kids could watch or things like that. You have to take some stake in that as a parent. You can do some Google searches as well. If you Google kid-friendly Twitch streamers or things like that, even for a YouTube, right? Like, because like I know Dan TDM, the Diamond Minecart, he's a very kid-friendly one. He doesn't swear in his channel, and he realizes his audience is a younger demographic and upholds to that. So you can do some research. Just again, you could even Google the person's name. Your top results are going to tell you what you want to find about them. But as Ben said, stuff can slip through the cracks. Again, maybe hinting back at our previous episode, and you should definitely check that one out if you're interested in internet safety. But that the general idea is you have to educate your child too. Stuff like that will happen just like it does at school, or when they're walking into the store, somebody might do something that's inappropriate or not up to your family values, and you just have to trust that they know that that's not appropriate behavior, and learn from it, or be able to leave that situation, and that's pretty easy to do. So let me jump back into a couple more questions, Ben. So I know a lot of the times are changing, right? Like it used to be that video games, you couldn't make money, you couldn't make a career playing video games. That's what you wasted time. You lost jobs because of it, frankly. And probably people still are today. But let's talk a little bit about the monetary value in it, and like maybe talk about the extremes, what some extreme streamers are making, but also talk about how you can even, as a kid who's playing, make some extra money just doing what you love to do.
Sure, absolutely. So this is definitely something we're seeing a lot of. People are getting drawn over to Twitch and finding out what Twitch is because of these monetary boasts that are happening for these streamers, and how much money is actually really involved behind what Twitch is starting to appeal to people. So just a very basic, for those of you that don't know, monetizing live streaming. So Twitch, basically, the more viewers you pull in, the more opportunities you have as a streamer. But Twitch is really cool, and they're smart, and because it's owned by Amazon, they have a lot of different implemented ways where as a company they can make money, but they also like to make sure that the people that are streaming for them on the service and providing the content are getting compensated as well. So for example, there's two different programs that really apply here. There's an affiliate program and there's a partner program. Affiliate program is more basic, it's easier to get into, and you have less opportunities, versus a partner, who is someone who gets a lot of viewers on Twitch and is one of those forerunners who makes money. A couple different ways that you can make money. For the longest time, before there was any guaranteed platform like Twitch was going to pay you, donations and the culture behind live streaming is a huge resource for live streamers nowadays to get money. And it makes sense. It sounds a little crazy at first, but if you think about it, just like any other monthly paid thing that you do for entertainment, like Netflix, or if you pay tickets to go see a concert, these people that go above and beyond and stream 12 hours a day as if it's their full-time job, and for some people it is their full-time job, people can donate to those channels as one source of revenue to say, hey, thanks for the content, we appreciate it. And there's a lot of different reasons why people would do that. Sometimes it's to get their message seen by the streamer. Sometimes it's a genuine thank you because they helped them out, discover how to do things in a game. So donations are one way. Now the ways that you can actually do it through the platform themselves, Twitch actually offers something called a subscriber button. And if you really like a channel and you really want to show your contribution to that streamer, you can subscribe to them, which is basically exactly what we talked about before, a monthly fee that goes directly to Twitch and the broadcaster. And so what we're seeing is a lot of these big streamers are starting to pile up their subscriber counts, and the reason people subscribe is not only to show support, they gain exclusive benefits too. So in the chat, you get a badge by your name, you get these cool emotes you can use in the chat, you get sub-only perks, is what a lot of streamers call them. But what happens is when these start to pile up, now these streamers are starting to pile in monthly revenue based off of their subscriber count. Now it's not always the most secure, and depending on how much you're getting, would be a good or bad decision to invest into it fully. But I mean, it's crazy to see how many people are actually able to make a career off of this with even small communities, just because of their dedication to streaming and then the loyalty of their followers and their fan base. So donations are huge. There's subscribing, which is a huge way to give money to a streamer and how you can monetize your live streams. And then there's also this cool feature called bits, which you have to be an affiliate or a partner to have on your channel anyway, but basically people can pay money to get these virtual currency on Twitch, and then they can donate it to you through your chat. And it'd be the same as if, I spend $7.50 on 500 bits, and then I donate $5 to that streamer with those bits. So it's a little complicated. I don't want to get too far into it, but those are a couple different ways that streamers can make money. Now, a lot of the really good streamers who make a lot of money think of other ways to do it too, like making YouTube videos or creating a Patreon where people can donate to do other things. So, but that's kind of the money side, the rant side, and what it's doing is it's turning something that used to be more recreational, more hobby, more there's gaming sense. Now it's actually turning things into careers where you can do this for a living. Now, is it very hard because everyone's doing it? Yes, it is extremely difficult and takes a lot of time and luck usually to get to a point where it's a substantial amount. But like I said, there are countless numbers of streamers who do this for a full-time job because they are living off of this money that they do making Twitch streams and stuff. So
yeah. No, I mean, it's insane. I mean, when you start looking at the numbers, I mean, on the high-end people, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So one person who, if you stop this video and ask your child right now if they watch Twitch, If they say yes, there's a good chance they know this streamer because he's the number one streamer on Twitch right now. His name on Twitch is Ninja. And you can just Google Tyler Blevins or Ninja, and we'll probably put a blurb in the description of the video for you. But his channel is the number one channel on Twitch, and he's making huge strides and pushing the whole Twitch community towards things that we didn't think were possible before. In the sense that he's making it's estimated that he's making $500,000 a month. That's a month, not a year, by the way. A month off of just his Twitch streaming. Now, if that seems like something that's inconceivable to you, again, you have to look back at the different ways that he's making this money. He has it's going down and it fluctuates, but he had 200,000 subscribers at one point, which means that all 200,000 of those subscribers were paying $5 a month to be subscribed, and he gets a certain split off that money for his own revenue. So for those of you that are like, gaming doesn't have a future for you, or you can't get a job in this, I mean, this is one small way, and in 10 years, not even 10, like 2 or 3 years, Twitch is going to blow up to the point where that's starting to become more and more the norm. Because even today, there's still this, if you ask someone, hey, what's Twitch? A lot of people won't know, but you ask YouTube, obviously everybody knows what YouTube is, right? So Amazon and their Twitch products and stuff, they're making a huge push right now, and so $500,000 a month, I mean, you can't dispute the numbers. Now, is that an extreme case? Absolutely, but there are still several streamers out there, I could list 20 right now, who are making easily $50,000 a month because of their status on Twitch and how often they stream and stuff like that. So it's crazy. Yeah. It's unheard of money. It's like celebrity like status, but it's through this form of gaming and live streaming. So
yeah, it's crazy. And again, let's not get, like you said, if your kid starts streaming, it doesn't mean they're going to be making any money. Mm-hmm. It's just like anything else. Those are the ones you look at. But regardless, at the end of the day, there's ways to make money, and there's also ways just to have fun and have a community. And there's those unwritten things as well, just to have a place for you to let loose and play a game you love and chat with others who share the same values. I kind of want to go on my soapbox for one little thing here, and then I'll finish up with one more question, Ben. And this comes from me being a person that kind of looked at Twitch as, why would anybody want to watch somebody play a video game? And I used to be that person. And frankly, still to this day, I can admit is I don't find necessarily enjoyment in watching video games being played, but I got to the realization I understand why. And I realized that the other day when I was watching a football game, I'm watching these guys play a football game for 3 hours, right? And I'm not doing anything to affect the game. I'm just getting it for entertainment value. And it hit me that that's exactly what people that are watching Twitch are doing, is they have a passion for video games, as I do with football, and they just appreciate the art of being really good at a game or having entertainment value. Because, again, not everybody that plays Twitch is the best at the video game. They're just a good personality. Just like we would watch the late night show with XYZ, right? Because they're funny or whatever. So again, as a parent, I caution you to be so against, this is weird that I don't understand it. And you might not like to watch video games, like I don't either, but you might also like to watch 2 hours of Law and Order SVU. I know a lot of people like to watch that show, and there's no difference, right? It's just a different medium of what they're doing, and they're getting value in their for what they're interested in, and that's video games. And again, they're getting to meet people, they're getting to learn tricks and stuff like that to make them better at the game, like Ben mentioned. So again, I just caution everybody to think about that when you're watching or thinking about it. Just don't necessarily sweep it under the rug as stupid. It's definitely just entertainment, and it's awesome. One other thing I want to mention is, we'll put this in the notes. There's some crazy statistics about where Twitch is, and Ben's right. It doesn't even scratch the surface. It's so new. But just nuts how the numbers have grown. And some of these numbers are even old, but Twitch amassed, it says 45.6 45.6 million unique visitors. That's insane. That's crazy. And that's on a per month basis, of course. So I'm saying it's growing, and it's pretty interesting to be a part of that, especially for your kids who are growing up with technology at their fingertips. There's a lot of that. So Ben, I kind of want to end the question portion, and definitely if you have anything else to fill in. But if I'm a parent and my kid comes to me and says, hey, I want to get started in streaming, I want to do this, what kind of steps and what kind of software technology would be great for a parent to say, okay, I'm going to look into this?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a great question, and one that we've actually received pretty commonly because the kids that come to camp know about streaming, and then it's the new dream job for kids their age. Is I want to
Yeah.
be a YouTuber or I want to be a Twitch streamer. So, I'll probably go ahead and make a separate video on this for a whole detailed package. But
Okay.
what I will say, a couple things to keep in mind. Definitely want to start slow and in moderation, right? So one thing that Ninja and other streamers will always say is do not quit your day job or don't neglect school to try to become the next big top Twitch streamer.
Absolutely.
Because one, there's absolutely no guarantee. I mean, you look at the top guys, it took years and years of hard work, luck, dedication, all of these factors to make it big. So I would just start off by explaining like, hey, like this is going to be like a hobby, like hobby level. And once they get to the age, like for example, when I started streaming, I was just about to graduate high school, and I obviously didn't quit my day job because as you see growth is usually a good time to invest back into what you're doing. So I would just make sure you have a healthy explanation and they have an understanding that it's a hobby thing and school comes first. And then you talk about obviously all the safety aspects of it, but the actual logistics of what it takes, you can actually, and it's granted not the greatest option, anymore nowadays, but you can actually stream directly from, a PS4 and Xbox One console. So most of the time when the kids are gaming, they don't even realize to get started with Twitch streaming, they can actually already do it straight from what they have. Now, it requires pretty good internet to be able to upload your content at a good quality. But the basics, when I started and when I hit some of the biggest milestones with my own Twitch streaming, I was streaming directly from my Xbox. And if you look at like the big streamers, I didn't have anything fancy like they did. But what I did have was, drive and passion for what it was. And so as it grew, I started to invest more into it. I bought a computer that was able to stream my Xbox gameplay instead of streaming directly from it. I bought a microphone and a webcam and lighting and all this stuff. So I would say, like I said, I'll come up with a separate video just about the nitty gritty, like details of how a kid or student or even anyone could just get started, and then what it looks like to progress from that starting point. But like I said, the most important thing I would think of if they're looking into, getting started is get involved with them in setting it up, and then just make sure they have a healthy understanding of, how much time to put into it. Because obviously school comes first, and, a lot of the times, like, if you really enjoy streaming, then that's great and that's cool. And there's obviously like a future of the platform, in it. But there are definitely people who try it out and decide they hate it. So, you don't want to go off and spend all this money, get set up, and then start streaming and realize, oh, I don't really like doing this.
No, exactly. It's fair to say just because you have the best technology won't make you successful. You have to be,
absolutely.
You have to put the time in. It's just like anything else. When your kid starts to play softball, they don't need the best bat and the best glove. They just need to commit to learning a skill. Same as this. So keep that in mind. But again, we encourage you to encourage this type of thing with your kids. Times are changing. We can't be stuck in our ways.
Yeah.
And shame on you if you are. Shame on you. No, no, go ahead. If you
yeah, sure. I was just gonna say, just a last little throw in for the episode. If you are like thinking about like what the benefits of either streaming are or like letting your student watch on Twitch, again, as Adam mentioned earlier, it's a great way to like meet people. Like the internet is like borderless basically. So like I've been on countless Twitch streams where, and again, it's a little scary because it's internet and you have to make sure you're like on top of it. But like I've met people from countries all across the world, and I've had like conversations with them on multiple different accounts of just because I was in this same Twitch stream. I was like, oh, hey, blah, 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 and all this stuff. So again, it's important because you don't want like, you never disclose like, personal information and stuff like that. But there really is a super like almost tangible sense of community on the Twitch aspect because, you see the same people that come in regularly. You're all there to watch and enjoy the content that's up there. So it helps them kind of identify like where they fit in a little bit, I want to say, and at the same time, limiting screen time is important too, because you don't want them just glued to a Twitch stream. A lot of these streamers can go all day, so you don't want them sitting there all day. But so I don't know. There's definitely benefits for watching Twitch and for streaming. Like I said, it's if it's to them, it's meeting friends or talking to people as they do stuff. It's just another little added benefit. So
yeah. Awesome. Well, I think that's a good place to end. We definitely want to get people going. As we go here, we're going to be putting it on different mediums as well. We're hoping to get our podcast set up as well. So you can listen to this, to watch our beautiful faces. If you don't want to, you can just listen to it on a car ride or, when you're going to bed or something. So we'll be looking for that in the next couple of weeks. We'll be doing that. We'll be coming out next week with a new episode. Ben doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to be talking about how LCB got started. I'm going to share
fantastic.
the story of where we started and why we do what we do. So be looking for that next Friday. You don't know what that means. Just be looking for it on Fridays when we release our videos. And other than that, thanks for checking out this video, and we hope to see you soon. Make sure to check out our summer camps as well at learncreatebuild.com. You can find out all our summer camps. We're getting ready and raring. We're like 20-some days away. So
yeah, it's crazy. We're so excited. It's going to be an awesome summer this year. So make sure you guys don't miss out. It's going to be really good.
Awesome. Ben, I appreciate it. We will talk to you later, and we'll talk to you all later as well.
Yep. All right. Bye.
See ya.